In the quiet suburbs of Maplewood, where families left doors unlocked and neighbors greeted each other warmly, 19-year-old Emily Carter was a trusted babysitter for many households. But one chilly autumn evening in 1997, Emily disappeared while babysitting 6-year-old Lily Thompson. The child was found unharmed, but Emily was gone. Weeks later, her diary surfaced in the most unexpected place, unraveling chilling secrets about the people in Maplewood. It was October 12th, 1997. The Thompsons were attending a gala, leaving Emily in charge of their daughter, read her a bedtime story, and tucked her into bed by 8 p.m. Around 9 p.m., Mrs. Thompson called to check in. Emily answered, reassuring her everything was fine. But when the Thompsons returned home around midnight, they found Lily fast asleep in her room. Emily, however, was nowhere to be found. Her belongings, including her bag and shoes, were still by the front door. The back door was ajar, and a single muddy footprint was found leading out into the backyard. The Maplewood Police Department launched a full-scale investigation. Flyers with Emily's face were plastered across the town. Search parties scoured the area, focusing on the nearby wood. Witnesses claim they saw nothing unusual that night except for one neighbor who reported seeing a dark van idling near the Thompson house around 11 p.m. Emily's family and friends were questioned, but no one had any reason to suspect she would run away. She had no known enemies, no romantic entanglements, and no history of trouble. The investigation stalled until a discovery shifted the case into darker territory. 3 weeks after Emily's disappearance, her diary was found in a storm drain less than a mile from the Thompson house. It was partially waterlogged but still legible. What it revealed sent shockwaves through Maplewood. Emily's diary painted a picture of a young woman struggling with growing paranoia. She wrote about feeling watched, particularly while babysitting at the Thompson house. In one entry, dated just a week before her disappearance, Emily described seeing a figure standing outside the Thompsons' backyard fence late at night. She assumed it was her imagination until it happened again 2 nights later. The most disturbing entry, dated 2 days before she vanished, read, "I think someone is trying to scare me. I keep hearing noises at the back door, but when I check, there's no one there. Tonight, I saw footprints in the garden. I'm afraid to tell anyone. They'll think I'm crazy." The diary also mentioned a cryptic encounter at a local coffee shop where a man Emily didn't recognize approached her. He asked if she babysat for the Thompson and left abruptly when she said yes. Detectives began digging into the diary entry, focusing on the Thompsons and their acquaintances. Mr. Thompson, a successful architect, had recently fired a contractor named Greg Miller after a heated argument over payment disputes. Miller had a history of violent behavior and owned a dark van like the one spotted that night. When police brought Miller in for questioning, his alibi crumbled. He claimed he was at a bar that night, but no one could confirm his presence. However, without physical evidence, Miller was released. A second suspect emerged, Michael Grant, a neighbor who had previously been caught trespassing on Thompson property. Grant had a history of stalking women, but denied any involvement in Emily's disappearance. His home was searched, but no evidence was found. Months later, a breakthrough came when a hunter stumbled upon a secluded campsite deep in the woods, 10 miles from Maplewood. Among the remnants of the campfire and discarded trash was Emily's bracelet, engraved with her initial. Forensic teams discovered traces of blood on a tarp at the site, which matched Emily's DNA. This evidence reignited the case, and police turned their attention back to Greg Miller. A search of his van revealed a knife with traces of blood on the blade, also a match to Emily. Miller confessed under pressure, claiming he hadn't meant to hurt her. He admitted to following Emily for weeks, obsessed with her after seeing her at the Thompson house. That night, he had confronted her at the back door, hoping to scare her into talking to him. When she tried to scream, he panicked and forced her into his van. Miller revealed that Emily had tried to escape during the drive to the woods, and in the struggle, he accidentally killed her. He buried her in a shallow grave near the campsite. Police recovered her remains the next day, bringing closure to a case that had haunted the town for months. Emily's death left Maplewood shaken, and her diary became a symbol of the dangers lurking behind the facade of small-town safety. The Thompsons moved away, unable to bear the weight of the tragedy that unfolded in their home. Emily's family established a foundation in her name to raise awareness about stalking and domestic violence. Her story became a chilling reminder of how seemingly ordinary lives can be shattered in an instant.